my home. I live at Braziers. I'm so lucky to live in a beautiful house, beautiful grade 2 listed building. I have some lovely friends who are always hanging out, chatting or doing stuff together. It's pretty cool. And it's got lovely bedrooms to sleep in. But hang on, I don't sleep in here. So I did used to live in the main house, but I now live outside. As well as the main house, there is extensive grounds, and there are a lot of places where people live. Going just past the kitchen, through a nice alleyway, currently a building site, but that won't be like that forever. And a whole load more building houses there. Some of them are lovely, well, a lot of them are lovely, but a lot of them don't have loos. And my abode does not have a toilet at the moment. So, to solve this problem, I am currently constructing over here a compost toilet, which is just a stone's throw, just so I can get there nice and easily. I'm quite excited at the moment because it's actually beginning to look like what it's supposed to look like. It looks like a structure. I actually started this in December, and for quite a long time it was just some sticks sticking out of the ground in a circular fashion. How I started off making this structure was I got all of these sticks. They were coppiced from hazel, which is literally just over there. Got the sticks down. Larger sticks are now in place in the circle, and then I got the smaller, the thinner sticks, and I weaved them from the bottom up. But the weaving is now done. And the tricky bit actually was doing this bit. So this really caused me a lot of stress, because being up like that, with my hands up like that all the time, whew, that was quite hard work when you're trying to fiddle and move string around and tie bows. And then I started off using, because me being me, I wanted to use my own wool. So I was using this wool. But it wasn't strong enough, so now I've just used commercial stuff, and it is now managing to stay, and it's looking the shape that it's supposed to be. So we've got a pipe in here. This is going to be a separator, so it'll separate the urine from the feces, the poo, because you don't want to be mixing those things. That's what causes smells when the wee gets in there. So the basic plan is we need to put a large roof over it. Still going to work out exactly how that's going to be done, so watch this space. And the other thing we need to do is to dig a hole where everything's going to go, and then put boards on there. So I've got the boards already. They're just over here ready for installation. But I think what we need to do first, because if I try and put the boards down, they will rot unless there's a covering. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put a temporary covering on, a tarp. But before we can put the tarp on, we need to deal with the sticks. If you look up there, they're quite sharp, and they will just rip the tarp. So I need to put something over them, and we're going to work out what that's going to be. So one aspect I'm a little bit nervous about, and have had this problem in the past, is when you try and once you put the things on to protect the sheet, then when you try and put the sheet on, it just pulls the bits off. So what I'm hoping, two things. Firstly, I've wedged them on, they're quite wedged on there, as in, and there's tension for the sticks, and I'm hoping that'll help. But also I'll try and fold it in such a way that I can put the tarp over and then kind of unroll. That's the plan anyway. Let's see if it works. the tarp happens to be just the right size that I was able to basically just get a load of sticks and just wedge that in to secure it. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, and I was thinking I was going to remove this, but actually, if we look in the middle here, it droops in and all the rain would just drip in and that would be no good. But if I have that there, I'm hoping that will sit on the top and then it won't do that so much. So we'll see how it goes when we actually get some rain. Obviously this is just a temporary thing, I'm not going to have this on forever. It's just to protect the wood so it doesn't rot when I put the bits that will make the toilet. Interestingly, I'm going to do a drop toilet, which is what I used to have when I lived in Taiwan. So there'll be no thing to sit on, you just crouch. But since it's just me, then it doesn't matter. Yeah, so I was a bit worried that actually doesn't reach, but it's sticking out. Again, we'll see how it goes with the rain, but it doesn't matter too much, it's just a temporary thing. So the sun is shining now, but we have just had a massive amount of rain, thunder, lightning and hail. So it definitely put my compost toilet to the test, or the plastic bit that I put over there. So let's have a look what happened. So the first thing I notice is that the double sheet that I had has come down and it's now sort of over here. Don't know how it happened, but there's pools of water in there. And then if we come to the inside, let's have a look. So obviously where we had a nice little sort of ledge along there, didn't we, that would stop it from coming in, but the rain must have probably come down here. And indeed, if we look down at the chair, there's water there, so it definitely has come down. Not ideal, but the ground behind the chair is pretty dry, so it does work a little bit. What we'll need to do is just secure the back when it's dry, and the tarp's dry, then we'll secure it back up and we'll make sure that that's a bit more secure. Not exactly sure how, but we'll work it out. Hopefully there won't be any more rain. I just heard thunder. And then we'll prop it up and be a bit more secure when it's all dried out. It looks like the rain is not abating, and we're currently under some yew trees and they are shedding berries, which are landing on here and then becoming quite mushy. So I think probably the best bet is if I just get this on straight away, even though it's slightly damp. Just to make it extra secure, I'm gonna do a peg. So I'm gonna use some string and peg it down. So we'll try this knot here. And by the sounds of it, we're gonna get some rain to test out our new contraption very soon. So we better make a crack on. And then we'll need something to peg it. So you can use pegs, but if you haven't got one, you can just use sticks. Ideally, if you find one with a notch, with a twig coming out just in the right place, that can be handy. That might be a bit too small, though it might work. Shall we try this, see if it works? Or if you can't, if they're all like straight and there's nothing with a branch in the right place, you can make a notch using a knife if you sort of whittle one out. But that takes time. So we'll just try this one for now. And if it doesn't easily go in, we can just cut a notch so that it's a little bit spikier at the end. Let's try that. Try and get the notch flush with the ground. Gets quite tough pretty quickly here. It's pretty hard. It's not easily going in. I wonder what's down there. It does make me a bit worried when I start digging. It might get pretty tough once you get beyond the leaf litter. Because that is tough. It might have to do. If it's angled in, it should be okay. Right, now we just have to secure the rope. There, and I've used a line hitch knot so it can be nice and taut, and hopefully it will, keep it a bit more secure this time. There we go, so hopefully that will be good enough for the weather. But it will be quite exciting when we get to dig and put our boards down ready for the toilet. And also we've got to put the roof on, the proper roof. So if you want to see those videos, do subscribe, and I will be putting them on as soon as I've finished the project. Of course, a project like this couldn't be done alone, and I've had amazing help from my friends and community members. So Simon has been helping me with a lot of the weaving and been amazing to chat to about how I do what I do. Cliff was the original inspiration for the project, and he has all sorts of knowledge about building work, woodwork, all sorts of things like that. And hopefully at some point there will be more on both of those coming soon, so watch this space.